Beloved child, before you hear a single word of this letter, I need you to make one promise to yourself. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. This is not about coincidence. This is not about fantasy. This is about emotions that remained unspoken for far too long. Somewhere, someone who carries your memory inside their heart has finally reached the moment where silence is no longer enough. Today, in this story, those hidden feelings finally become words. Every sentence you hear will bring you closer to understanding why this message feels so deeply personal. Listen carefully, because the final lines of this letter may change the way you see everything that has happened between you. There comes a moment in every heart when pretending becomes impossible. Smiles can hide feelings for only so long. Distance can delay the truth, but it cannot erase it. The person connected to this story spent countless days searching for the right words. They started writing this letter many times, only to stop, because every sentence felt too small for what they truly wanted to say. Yet today, they finally found the courage. Every heartbeat became stronger than every fear. Every memory became louder than every excuse. Every hope became brighter than every doubt. Imagine opening an envelope that carries no return address. You unfold the paper slowly, and before reading another line, you already feel that something important is waiting inside. The very first sentence says, "I never knew how to explain what changed inside me until now." Those simple words carry the weight of countless untold emotions. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because this letter is only beginning. The next lines reveal something unexpected. I tried convincing myself that time would make these feelings disappear, but time only made them clearer. Every ordinary moment reminded me of you in ways I never expected. A familiar song, a quiet evening, a random smile from a stranger. Everything somehow led my thoughts back to you. Suddenly, what seemed like ordinary memories become extraordinary pieces of a much larger picture. The letter continues with honesty that cannot be ignored. There were moments when I almost reached out, but I wondered if the timing was right. I wondered if you had already moved on. I wondered if my words would matter. So, instead of speaking, I stayed silent. That silence became heavier every single day. Can you feel the emotion growing stronger? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Every sentence is building toward a revelation that has been hidden behind hesitation for far too long. Then comes a beautiful realization written with complete sincerity. The truth is, I stopped trying to understand why I felt this way. I simply accepted that whenever I imagined happiness, somehow you were always part of that picture. I stopped fighting what my heart already knew. Take a moment to think about that. Some feelings don't arrive with loud announcements. They grow quietly until one day they become impossible to ignore. That is exactly where this letter reaches its turning point. The next paragraph becomes even more powerful. I don't expect perfection. I don't expect every answer today. I only wanted you to know that what I feel is real. I wanted these words to exist somewhere outside my own thoughts. I wanted you to know the truth I should have shared long ago. Every sentence removes another layer of uncertainty. Every word feels lighter because it is finally being spoken instead of hidden. This is why this letter matters. It isn't about dramatic promises. It isn't about impossible expectations. It is about honesty finally finding its voice. But don't leave yet. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The most unforgettable part of this letter has not arrived. What comes next has the power to change the meaning of every previous sentence, and that final message is closer than you think. I want you to imagine that the letter did not end where you thought it would. There was one more page folded carefully behind the first. It was hidden, almost as if the writer was unsure whether these words should ever be seen. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear is the part that was never easy to write, because these are not ordinary sentences. These are the thoughts that remained locked inside a heart for longer than anyone could imagine. If you are reading this page, then you have already reached the place where I hoped you would. Thank you for staying. There is something I have never admitted, even to myself, until now. I thought I was protecting my heart by remaining silent, but every silent day only made your place in my life stronger. I finally realized that the greatest mistake was not speaking when my heart already knew the truth. Pause for a moment and let those words settle. Sometimes the most important feelings are not hidden because they are weak. They are hidden because they are so meaningful that the wrong moment could never carry them. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The letter continues. I remember moments you probably forgot. Small conversations that seemed ordinary to you became unforgettable memories for me. You smiled without realizing how much hope you gave me. You spoke simple words that stayed with me for days. You may never have noticed, but those ordinary moments quietly became the brightest pages of my story. The writer pauses again before continuing. There were evenings when I wondered if you were looking at the same sunset. There were mornings when I hoped your day would be filled with peace, even though you never knew I was thinking about you. Life kept moving, yet somehow my thoughts always returned to you without asking for permission. I stopped questioning why. I simply accepted that my heart had already chosen what my mind was still trying to understand. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now the handwriting seems steadier, as if the writer has finally stopped hiding. People often say that time changes everything. They were right. Time changed me. It taught me that genuine feelings become clearer instead of fading away. Every season passed, but one truth remained exactly the same. Whenever I imagined a peaceful future, your presence was always there. I never placed you there on purpose. Somehow my heart did it before I even realized it. The next paragraph feels even more personal. There were countless times when I almost reached out. I wrote messages that were never sent. I started conversations inside my imagination. I wondered how you would respond. Then uncertainty convinced me to wait one more day. That one day became another week, another month, and another chapter filled with silence. Looking back now, I realize silence never answered my questions. It only made me miss opportunities that can never be repeated. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The letter now reaches the deepest confession. I stopped searching for perfect timing because I finally understood something important. Feelings do not become more real by waiting longer. They become more meaningful when they are spoken honestly. That is why I decided to finish this letter instead of hiding it away forever. Whatever happens after these words, at least my heart will no longer carry this truth alone. Every line grows stronger. You changed me without trying. You taught me patience without giving a lesson. You reminded me that kindness is remembered longer than grand gestures. You became proof that some people quietly leave footprints inside another person's heart simply by being themselves. For a brief moment, everything becomes silent again. Then, the final folded page appears. If there is one thing I hope you remember after reading this letter, let it be this. You were appreciated more than you realized. You were valued more than you imagined. You inspired more hope than you could ever measure. Even during the quietest moments, your memory carried more light than you will probably ever know. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The writer takes one final breath before writing the closing paragraph. This letter was never about asking for anything. It was about giving honesty a voice. Some feelings deserve to be spoken simply because they are true. If these words bring a smile to your face, then every moment spent writing them was worthwhile. If they leave you thinking, then perhaps they have reached exactly where they were always meant to go. And then, beneath every paragraph, beneath every memory, beneath every hidden feeling, one final handwritten sentence appears. Some people become unforgettable without even trying, and somehow you became one of them. A quiet surprise was waiting at the very bottom of the envelope. It was not another page, but a smaller folded note tucked carefully beneath the letter, as though the writer saved the most meaningful words for the very end. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Most people would have stopped reading before reaching this point, but those who continue are about to discover the part that changes the meaning of every sentence that came before. The note begins with a simple line. If you found this page, then you cared enough to keep reading. That alone tells me something beautiful. It reminds me that the most meaningful stories are never rushed. They are understood one page at a time, one feeling at a time, one heartbeat at a time. Those words feel different. They are calmer, yet somehow even more powerful. The writer continues. There is one memory I have never shared with anyone. It wasn't a grand moment. There were no celebrations, no extraordinary events. It was just an ordinary day when I suddenly realized something unexpected. I was smiling for no reason at all. Then I understood the reason had quietly become you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The handwriting becomes steadier as if every hidden feeling is finally finding its place. I kept asking myself when everything changed. Was it one conversation, one smile, one moment? The truth surprised me. It wasn't a single moment at all. It was hundreds of little moments, small acts of kindness, quiet conversations, tiny memories that slowly built something much bigger than I ever imagined. Looking back now, I realize my heart noticed long before my mind did. The note grows even more personal. There were times when I tried to convince myself that these feelings would fade. Instead, they became stronger with every passing season. Every new experience somehow reminded me of an old memory connected to you. I finally understood that genuine feelings don't disappear simply because we ignore them. They patiently wait until we are ready to understand them. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Another paragraph unfolds. Sometimes I imagine meeting you again after all this time, not because I expected anything extraordinary, but because I wondered whether you would recognize the person I have become. You unknowingly inspired growth inside me. You reminded me to become more patient, more grateful, more hopeful. You never asked me to change, yet your presence quietly encouraged me to become better. For a moment, the letter becomes completely silent. Then another sentence appears. One evening, I looked at the stars and realized something that completely surprised me. Distance may separate two people physically, but it cannot erase genuine appreciation. Some connections remain meaningful because they were built on honesty, respect, and unforgettable memories. Those kinds of connections quietly survive the passing of time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now the writer reaches the most unexpected realization. Do you know what surprised me the most? It wasn't discovering how much you meant to me. It was realizing how often your memory appeared during the happiest moments of my life. Happiness has a way of revealing who truly matters. Every joyful milestone made me wonder how wonderful it would have been to share that moment with you. The words become even more heartfelt. If life gave me the chance to rewrite one chapter, would not erase mistakes, I would simply choose honesty sooner. I would speak while my heart was still whispering instead of waiting until it had to shout. I have learned that the right words become even more meaningful when they arrive with sincerity instead of perfection. The final section begins. Perhaps this letter will leave you with questions. Perhaps it will leave you smiling. Perhaps it will simply remind you that even the smallest acts of kindness can leave lifelong impressions on another heart. Whatever happens next, I hope you never underestimate the difference you make in people's lives simply by being yourself. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The writer slowly places the pen down before writing the final thoughts. Thank you for every memory you never knew you created. Thank you for every ordinary moment that quietly became extraordinary. Thank you for teaching me that the strongest feelings are often the quietest ones. They don't ask for attention. They simply remain true. One final sentence appears beneath everything else, written more carefully than any other line on the page. The greatest surprise was never writing this letter. The greatest surprise was realizing that every chapter of my journey had been gently leading me toward these words all along. Just when it seemed every word had already been revealed, something completely unexpected appeared inside the envelope. Hidden behind the final page was a tiny handwritten card with only one sentence on the front. This is the part one almost never let anyone read. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The pages you have heard until now were only preparing you for this moment. This final message is different. It carries no hesitation, no uncertainty, and no unfinished thoughts. It is written with complete honesty, as though every fear has finally disappeared. The card slowly unfolds. If you have reached this page, then you now know more about my heart than anyone else ever has. I spent so much time searching for the perfect words that I almost forgot the simplest truth. The truth is that some people quietly become unforgettable, not because they try to, but because they leave kindness wherever they go. You became one of those rare people in my life. For a brief moment, everything becomes silent. The next paragraph begins. I used to believe that meaningful moments had to be extraordinary. I was wrong. The moments I remember most are the ordinary ones. The conversations that lasted only a few minutes. The laughter that arrived unexpectedly. The quiet encouragement that appeared exactly when I needed it. Those moments became treasures that I still carry today. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The handwriting grows even steadier. One day I realized something that completely surprised me. Whenever someone asked me what genuine kindness looked like, your face quietly appeared in my thoughts before I could answer. I never planned for that to happen. It simply became true over time. Without realizing it, you became the standard by which I measured sincerity, patience, and warmth. The writer pauses before continuing. Life introduced me to many people, yet very few remained in my thoughts after the days passed. Somehow you were different. Your memory never demanded attention, but it never disappeared either. It quietly stayed, becoming part of ordinary mornings, peaceful evenings, and hopeful dreams about tomorrow. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Another page appears, filled with careful handwriting. There was a day when everything suddenly became clear. I stopped asking whether these feelings were real. Instead, I asked myself why I had waited so long to admit them. The answer surprised me. I wasn't afraid of the truth. I was afraid of how meaningful the truth had become. Every sentence feels more personal than the last. Do you know what I admire most about you? It isn't one single quality. It is the way you make ordinary moments feel meaningful. You have a quiet way of leaving hope behind without even noticing it. That is a rare gift, and I hope you never forget how valuable it truly is. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final section begins. If one day you ever wonder whether your presence made a difference in someone's life, remember this letter. Remember that someone found the courage to put years of quiet appreciation into words because keeping those feelings hidden no longer felt right. That alone should remind you that kindness is never wasted. The handwriting becomes slower, as if every word is being chosen with extraordinary care. Thank you for every smile that became a memory. Thank you for every conversation that quietly stayed with me. Thank you for reminding me that some connections are built through respect, understanding, and genuine appreciation. Those are the connections that remain meaningful no matter how much time passes. Now only one final folded note remains. Before you close this letter, I want you to know one last thing. The greatest surprise was never discovering how I felt. The greatest surprise was realizing that my happiest memories had one quiet detail in common. Somehow, in one way or another, they always led back to you. For a few seconds, there are no more words. Only one handwritten line remains beneath the signature. Some letters are read once and forgotten. Others quietly stay in your heart forever. I hope this becomes one of those letters. If these words touched your heart and you know someone who would appreciate a message like this, remember to share this story with them so they can experience it, too. And if you'd like to hear the next heartfelt letter when it arrives, make sure you're here for the next chapter. The envelope is now empty, but the feelings inside it will remain long after the final word has been read. There was one final discovery inside the envelope that no one expected. Tucked carefully beneath every page was a small piece of paper with a single sentence written across the top. The most important words were saved for last. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The writer slowly unfolds the final note. If you have reached this page, then you have already walked through every memory I was brave enough to share. But there is one truth I have protected for the longest time, because I wanted to be absolutely certain before writing it. Today, I finally am. For a moment, there is complete silence. Every previous page suddenly feels as though it was preparing for this exact moment. I spent so much time wondering when everything changed between my thoughts and my heart. Then one quiet morning, I realized something remarkable. I was no longer remembering you because of the past. I was thinking about you because every hope I carried for the future somehow included your presence. That realization surprised me more than anything else. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The handwriting becomes even more careful. Do you remember how ordinary some of our conversations seemed? I do. Yet those ordinary moments became extraordinary memories. I still remember the warmth of simple words, the kindness hidden inside everyday moments, and the comfort that arrived without either of us trying to create it. Those memories became the quiet foundation of everything I feel today. The letter pauses again. I finally understood something that changed the way I see life. The most meaningful people rarely arrive with loud announcements. They quietly become part of your heart until one day you cannot imagine your story without them. That is exactly what happened with you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Another page unfolds. There were times when I wondered if you ever realized how much encouragement you gave simply by being yourself. You probably never noticed it, but your kindness stayed with me on difficult days. Your words returned to my thoughts when I needed hope. Your presence became a reminder that genuine people still exist in this world. The writer continues, I once believed unforgettable moments had to be extraordinary events. Now I know the opposite is often true. Sometimes the smallest conversations create the deepest memories. Sometimes one sincere smile remains brighter than 1,000 impressive achievements. Somehow, every beautiful lesson I learned kept leading me back to you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now the letter reaches its most emotional page. If I could describe what changed inside me, I would say this. My admiration quietly became gratitude. My gratitude became appreciation, and my appreciation slowly became something I could no longer keep hidden. I did not notice the change while it was happening. I only recognized it after it had already transformed the way I saw my future. Every sentence feels heavier. Every word carries complete sincerity. I hope you never underestimate the impact of your presence. You may never fully realize how many quiet moments became brighter because of you. Some people leave temporary impressions. Others quietly change the atmosphere around every memory they touch. You became one of those rare people. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final folded sheet appears. There is something I have never said until today. Thank you, not only for the memories we shared, but also for the person I became, because those memories existed. They taught me patience. They taught me appreciation. Most importantly, they taught me that the greatest feelings are often built slowly through trust, kindness, and respect. The writer places the pen down for what seems like the last time. Then one final paragraph appears beneath everything else. If this letter ever fades with time, I hope one thing never does. I hope you always remember that your kindness mattered, your words mattered, your presence mattered. Sometimes people change another person's life without ever realizing they have done so. You became one of those people for me. Only one sentence remains, written more carefully than every line before it. The greatest gift was never finding the right words. It was finally finding the courage to let you read them. The envelope should have been empty by now, but as the light touched the inside one last time, something unexpected appeared. Hidden beneath the lining was a tiny handwritten page that looked older than all the others. Across the top, in careful handwriting, were the words, "This page was never meant to be found until now. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you." The page unfolds slowly. If these words have reached you, then you have already discovered every feeling I was brave enough to share. Yet, there is one memory that remained untouched because I could never find the courage to describe it. Today, I finally can. The handwriting becomes softer. I still remember the exact moment everything changed. It wasn't a grand event. There was no dramatic conversation. There was only a quiet realization that arrived without warning. I caught myself smiling while thinking about you, and for the first time, I didn't ask why. I simply accepted that my heart had already answered the question my mind kept asking. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Another paragraph begins. I used to believe that unforgettable people entered our lives with extraordinary moments. Then I met someone who proved the opposite. The simplest conversations became the ones I remembered most. The smallest acts of kindness became the memories I treasured longest. You never tried to become unforgettable, yet somehow you quietly became exactly that. A gentle pause follows. There were mornings when I hoped your day would be peaceful without you ever knowing someone was wishing that for you. There were evenings when a familiar song reminded me of your kindness, and suddenly the entire day felt brighter. Those moments seemed small at the time, but together they built something I could no longer ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The writer continues. One day I opened an old notebook and found your name, written beside a list of future dreams. I couldn't even remember writing it. That was the moment I realized my heart had been quietly including you in tomorrow, long before I noticed it myself. Some truths arrive so gently that we only recognize them after they have already become part of us. The handwriting grows steadier. I often wondered what I admired most about you. After thinking for a long time, I found the answer. It wasn't one single quality. It was the peace I felt whenever I remembered you. Some people impress us for a moment. Others quietly make the world feel a little brighter. You became that quiet light in my memories. Don't skip, stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final page reveals another heartfelt confession. If I could relive one chapter, I would spend less time waiting for perfect words and more time appreciating every ordinary moment we shared. Life taught me that ordinary moments become extraordinary only after they become memories. Looking back now, I realize I was living through beautiful moments without knowing how precious they would become. A long silence follows before the final paragraphs appear. Thank you for reminding me that genuine kindness leaves lasting footprints. Thank you for showing me that sincerity never fades with time. Thank you for becoming part of my story in a way that still brings gratitude whenever I look back. The writer places one final sentence beneath everything else. If someone ever asks me what hope looks like, I remember this letter because it was written on the day I finally stopped hiding the truth from my own heart. Only one final line remains, written more carefully than every word before it. Some letters end with goodbye. This one ends with gratitude, because meeting you became one of the quiet blessings I will always carry with me. Just when every page seemed to have been read, one final discovery changed everything. Hidden inside the back cover of the envelope was a sealed note with only a few words written across the front. Open this, only if you truly reached the end. Don't skip, stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The seal is gently opened. Inside is a page unlike the others. The handwriting is calmer, more confident, as though every doubt has finally disappeared. If you are reading these words, then you have walked beside every memory I was finally brave enough to share. But there is one truth I have never spoken aloud, because I believed it deserved the perfect moment. I finally understand something beautiful. Perfect moments are not found. They are created by honest hearts. A quiet pause fills the silence. For the longest time, I searched for the exact day when my feelings began. I replayed old conversations, remembered familiar places, and revisited countless memories. Then I realized I had been asking the wrong question. It wasn't about when my feelings began. It was about when I finally became brave enough to recognize them. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next page reveals an unexpected memory. There was one ordinary afternoon that I have never forgotten. Clear's throat. Nothing extraordinary happened. We simply shared a moment that most people would have forgotten by the next day. Yet somehow that simple moment became the memory I returned to whenever I needed hope. It reminded me that genuine connections are often built through the smallest experiences, not the loudest ones. The handwriting grows stronger. One evening, I asked myself a question that completely changed everything. If every memory disappeared except one, which would I choose to keep? Without hesitation, my heart chose a memory connected to you. That answer surprised me because it arrived before I even finished asking the question. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The writer continues. I used to admire people who made unforgettable first impressions. Now I admire something much greater. I admire the people whose kindness quietly grows more valuable with time. You became that kind of person in my story. Every passing season only reminded me more clearly of your patience, your warmth, and the quiet peace your presence always brought. Another page unfolds. Life taught me that gratitude is one of the rarest gifts we can carry. Today, I realize my heart is filled with gratitude because our paths crossed at all. Whether our conversations were long or short, every one of them became part of a story I will always treasure. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final page has become even more heartfelt. If someone had told me years ago that one person could quietly inspire so much hope without even realizing it, I probably would not have believed them. Yet here I am, writing these words with complete certainty. Sometimes people become part of your future simply because they changed the way you saw the present. The writer pauses before adding another thought. There were moments when I almost convinced myself to remain silent forever. Then I realized silence could never express gratitude. Silence could never explain appreciation. Silence could never tell someone how meaningful they had quietly become. That is why this letter exists. It is not simply a letter. It is the voice of everything I kept hidden for far too long. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now the final sheet appears. As I write these last words, I no longer wonder whether I chose the right sentences. I only hope they remind you of one simple truth. Never underestimate the difference your kindness can make. You may never know how deeply one thoughtful conversation, one sincere smile, or one encouraging word can stay inside another person's heart. Only one final paragraph remains. If this letter is remembered years from now, I hope it is remembered for one reason. Not because it was beautifully written, but because it was completely honest. Honest words have a quiet way of lasting longer than perfect ones. The writer signs the page. Then, beneath the signature, one final handwritten sentence appears. The greatest chapter was never the moment I understood my feelings. It was the moment I finally found the courage to let those feelings become words. The story should have ended with the last signature, but as the envelope was gently closed, one final sheet quietly slipped onto the table. It carried no title, no greeting, and no signature. There was only one sentence written across the top. If your heart brought you this far, these are the words you were always meant to read. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The page begins. For a long time, I believed that feelings became meaningful only after they were spoken. Now I understand the opposite. They become meaningful the moment they are sincere. Speaking them simply allows another heart to see what has quietly existed all along. A gentle silence follows. There is something I have never shared with anyone. I used to think that courage meant never being uncertain. Then I discovered that true courage is choosing honesty, even when your heart is still trembling. This letter is my proof of that. Every word on these pages exists because I finally chose honesty over silence. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next paragraph unfolds. Do you know what surprised me the most? It wasn't realizing how important you had become. It was realizing how naturally it happened. There was never one extraordinary moment. Instead, there were hundreds of ordinary moments that quietly joined together until they became something unforgettable. Looking back, I can see the path clearly now. Every conversation, every smile, every memory was gently leading me here. The handwriting becomes steadier. Sometimes I wondered whether people truly recognize the impact they have on others. I don't think they always do. A kind word may last only a few seconds when spoken, yet it can remain inside another person's heart for years. Your kindness became that kind of memory for me. Long after conversations ended, their warmth remained. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The page continues. There were moments when life became busy and the days moved quickly. Yet, even during those seasons, certain memories refused to fade. Instead of becoming distant, they became clearer. That was the moment I understood something extraordinary. Time had not weakened my appreciation. It had quietly strengthened it. A pause fills the page before the next confession. If someone asked me what I treasure most now, I would not mention remarkable achievements or unforgettable places. I would remember genuine moments shared with genuine people. Those moments became the quiet treasures I carry wherever life takes me. Somehow, many of those treasured moments begin with thoughts of you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final section begins. I no longer wonder whether these words are enough. No collection of sentences could ever fully describe gratitude, but perhaps they can do something even more valuable. Perhaps they can remind you that your presence mattered in ways you never imagined. Sometimes the greatest influence is the one we never realize we had. The handwriting grows slower. If this letter reaches your heart, then it has already fulfilled its purpose. It was never written to impress. It was written to be true. Truth has a quiet strength that never asks for attention, yet it stays with us long after beautiful phrases are forgotten. Clears throat. Only one final folded corner remains. Inside is the shortest message in the entire letter. Thank you for being one of the brightest chapters in a story that continues to inspire me every single day. The page almost ends, but beneath that message is one final handwritten line. Some letters are finished when the ink dries. This one continues every time its words are remembered. The envelope is finally empty, but the story it carried is not, because the most meaningful letters are never measured by the number of pages they contain. They are remembered by the feelings they leave behind, long after the final word has been read. And perhaps that was the message waiting for you from the very beginning. As the final page rested on the table, something unexpected caught your attention. On the back of the envelope, almost invisible, was a single handwritten instruction. Turn the envelope over. The last message was never inside the letter. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You slowly turn it over. There, written in smaller handwriting than anywhere else, is a message that feels completely different from everything you have heard so far. If you have stayed until this very moment, then you already know that every page before this was leading somewhere. I wanted you to understand my memories before you understood my heart. I wanted you to see the journey before you saw the destination. A quiet silence fills the room. The message continues. For a long time, I wondered why certain memories refused to leave me. I believed they would slowly fade with time, just like ordinary moments often do. Instead, they became brighter. They became clearer. They became reminders that some people quietly leave a permanent mark simply by being genuine. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Another paragraph appears. I discovered something surprising while writing these pages. Every time I tried to describe the future, I accidentally wrote about hope. Every time I wrote about hope, I somehow found myself thinking about you. That connection was never planned. It simply became impossible to ignore. The handwriting becomes more confident. Do you know what I treasure the most? Not one unforgettable day, but the collection of ordinary moments that quietly became extraordinary. A simple conversation, a thoughtful sentence, a peaceful silence. Those moments became chapters that I return to whenever I need to remember what genuine kindness feels like. The next page unfolds. There is one question I asked myself again and again. If I could keep only one lesson from everything life has taught me, what would it be? My answer surprised me. Never wait too long to appreciate the people who quietly make your world brighter. Appreciation becomes even more meaningful when it is spoken while the memories are still alive. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The writer pauses before continuing. Perhaps you never realized that your words encouraged someone to keep believing in better days. Perhaps you never noticed that your kindness remained long after conversations ended. The most beautiful qualities often belong to people who never recognize how deeply they affect others. That is exactly why this letter had to be written. Another carefully folded note appears. Every chapter of this letter carried one purpose: not to impress you, not to surprise you with dramatic words, but to leave you with one unforgettable truth. Genuine appreciation never becomes smaller with time. It quietly grows stronger because gratitude has a way of protecting the memories that matter most. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final page begins. As I finish writing these words, I realize this letter was never only about feelings. It was about courage. The courage to stop hiding appreciation. The courage to stop waiting for perfect timing. The courage to allow honesty to become louder than hesitation. That is the greatest gift this journey has given me. The handwriting slows. Each sentence feels like it was chosen with extraordinary care. If years pass and these pages are ever opened again, I hope they remind you of something simple. The people who quietly bring light into our lives deserve to know that their presence mattered, even if they never expected to hear it. Only one final folded strip of paper remains. Inside are the closing words. Thank you for unknowingly becoming one of the most meaningful chapters of my story. Thank you for showing me that kindness creates memories stronger than time. Thank you for proving that the most unforgettable letters are not remembered because of beautiful handwriting. They are remembered because every word comes from a sincere heart. The writer signs the page one last time. Beneath the signature, one final handwritten sentence completes the entire letter. The greatest surprise was never finding the right words for my heart. It was discovering that my heart had been writing this letter long before my hands ever touched the paper.